I am Dr. V. Jai Ganesh, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Amet University, and I am going to give a lecture on friction stir welding, which comes under the course name Welding Technology, and let us go to the topic of presentation now. Today we are going to see the very interesting topic on welding. Why I am saying welding is very important and interesting topic, though the welding is very cheapest to process and the fabrication is also easy. So we will discuss about the welding today. And what is welding actually? Welding is nothing but it's a joining of two different metal pieces, similar or dissimilar, with or without the application of heat and with or without the application of pressure. In sometimes we need pressure to make the weld, and in some welding process pressure is not required, as well as in temperature also is considered. Sometimes the temperature is required and sometimes the temperature is not required. For example, a fusion welding process which is required, a tremendous amount of heat will be required in order to join the material. We will see what is welding today, and the definition says that welding is the process of joining two dissimilar metals with or without the application of pressure and without application of temperature. And I already discussed in the my statement, it is very least expensive process and widely used in the days of fabrication. And welding joins different metal with the help of number of process. Say sometimes, which I discussed, heat is applied either electrically or by means of a gas torch or by means of a welding torch, and different welding processes are used in manufacturing of automobiles today, and with starts from gas welding, with starts from arc welding, and nowadays there are a lot of advancement in welding which is taking place in automobile industries, nuclear industries, shipbuilding industries and space schedule industries, which we will be discussing all those things in this lecture. And nowadays the industries used especially this welding process like friction welding process and the friction stir welding process, mainly ultrasonic welding process, are used in different oil industries and piping industries, and it is one of the largest and major secondary manufacturing process. If you consider the classification of welding process, the welding process is majorly classified into 35 different welding and brazing and several joining process like soldering are the methods used in different industries. And there are various ways of classifying the welding. For example, they may be classified on the basis of heat sources which you are going to apply. I already discussed that there is a flame welding and there is an arc welding which will be used for industries. And in general, there are different welding process which I discussed. Gas welding is one of the major classification system. We have air acetylene and we have oxyacetylene, we have oxyhydrogen welding, and even separate oxygen and acetylene put together in the welding process, and we have different flames also we can get by mixing oxygen with acetylene gases. And another major classification in welding is arc welding. So we have a different arc welding process. Let us see one by one. These are the major arc welding processes used in industries. For example, carbon arc welding and plasma arc welding, shielded metal arc welding and TIG welding. TIG stands for tungsten inert gas welding and MIG stands for metal inert gas welding. These two processes are used widely in the area of different industries and joining of different non-ferrous alloys too. And next we have a major classification of resistance welding. Resistant welding comes under the category of non-pressure welding, and we have a spot welding, seam welding and projection welding, resistant butt welding and flash butt welding. So these weldings are used in automobile industries, especially for example automobile door industries, automobile car, in car doors panel, this spot welding is used. And the next major classification of another welding process is called solid state welding. This solid state welding is nowadays used widely in all the industries, major industries. Say for example, we have a cold welding, and the diffusion welding is one of the latest welding process in which the joining of different types of non-ferrous alloys and ferrous materials as well as the plastics and other materials can also be joined in this process. And forge welding is one of the other type, and fabrication welding, hot pressure welding and roll welding, and especially today we are going to discuss about the friction stir welding. Let us see the other major classification of welding which is very unique and which can be considered as a special welding process. Say for example, we have a thermochemical welding in which thermite welding and atomic welding are the two types, and in thermite welding is used in joining of the railway tracks. So you might have seen that men are working in under the railway tracks and making a welding with a cone shaped where aluminum oxide and put together and fused. The heavy section can be fused and which can be joined together by the thermite welding process. And another welding classification is radiant energy welding, in which you have a major two types, electric beam welding and laser beam welding. So these two types is also very important in industries nowadays, because this laser beam welding where you can weld even a very thin section of plates that can be joined together and even very less thickness. And other application of laser beam that you might already know, it used in different medical applications and even human surgery and other things also. We will see the welding joints, different welding joints nowadays used in the industries. We have different welding joints. Say for example, in normal butt welding we used to put the two plate together and making a weld. It's a normal welding which is used in different industries, and it is a major type of welding joint. And we have a lap joint. What is lap joint? Lap joint is nothing but making two workpieces and one over the other. So this is called the lap joint, which is used in the industries. And we have a corner joint. For example, if you joint put together and making a weld over this corner, then it is called a corner joint. And what is T joint? T joint is nothing but this is the T joint. So where you can weld this type of structure in many manufacturing applications, this type of joints are used. And edge joint, which is I already told, this can be the position is like this, and this can be called as a corner joint. So these are all some of the few joints which will be used in industries. There are other types of joints is also used, but we have seen a very limited joints on our presentation as it is now. Next I am going to discuss the different welding positions. We have different welding positions used for different applications. Say for example, flat welding. Flat welding, which I discussed, it's like a lap joint where in which the workpieces are flat on these surfaces, and here you have a weld bead. So you have a single V groove and then you can make this flat welding. And here this welding you can call it as a vertical welding. So suppose you want to make the section to be welded in this position, this is called a vertical welding. And you have a number of welding types also. Say for example, forward welding, where you can make the weld from top to the bottom, and you have a welding from bottom to the top. And we have a third position called horizontal welding, in which the welding starts from here and you can move the torch over from this place to this place. So this is called the horizontal welding, and in some rare cases we used this overhead welding, in which the operator has to weld on the top position of the structure and making the weld, which is called the overhead welding. So these are all the different types of welding position. So I am going to discuss the major forge or pressure welding in a put together as a summarized. We have this forge or pressure welding classification. What does it means? It means that the pressure welding which is not required any additional filler material. Say for example, there are two types, major types in which the non-pressure welding classified. One is the heat created by the welding, and another one is cold pressure welding. So cold pressure welding comes under in a different topic, that is a separate area in which without heat you can make the weld, and here heat created by a different process of welding in non-pressure. Say for example, blacksmith fire, and you have a electric current, you have a friction welding. And blacksmith fire you use is a very basic type of welding process, in which you have a blacksmith, a person who can forge the material and make the weld, right? And then second one is electric current method. In electric current method, there are a different classification, again comes under the non-pressure welding, that is called the resistance welding process, which we discussed already: spot welding and seam welding, projection welding, upset butt welding, flash butt welding, and percussion welding. So spot welding is nothing but making a spot then and there and make the welding. Say for example, if you are making a tag on the automobile door panel, which is called a spot welding. And what is seam welding? Seam welding is nothing but making a continuous spot over the different portion of the plate, which is called a seam welding. And like that, projection welding is a particular part of weld in which you can make the project over the material in the some position. And upset welding, flash butt welding, and percussion welding are the other different types of non-pressure welding, pressure welding, which will be used in industries. Now we come under the category of fusion or non-fusion, non-pressure welding. Here in this process we don't require any pressure, but the material will be joined based on the heat which is applied over the material. That is called fusion welding, where the workpieces undergo with a major deformation or the melting temperature. You should reach the melting temperature of the material which is fused together and make the weld. And here you have almost in this process people are using the filler material, and we have seen the before we have seen the non-pressure pressure welding, in which the filler rod is not required, but here the filler material is required, and here heat is the main source. So heat is created on these types of welding. We have a major type like electric arc welding, gas welding, and chemical reaction. So again, if you classify this arc welding, electric arc welding, there will be a separate specification of feature called atomic hydrogen welding, and there are other types of welding like carbon arc, metal arc, inert gas welding, submerged arc welding, and stud arc welding. Again, this inert arc welding will be classified into tungsten inert gas and metal inert gas, which we already discussed as TIG and MIG. And here the gas welding, you have different major types like oxyacetylene, oxyhydrogen, and other welding process. In chemical reaction, we have a thermite welding, which will be used for making the railway track to be joined. Now we are comes under the main topic of friction stir welding. So far what we have discussed is the basic types of welding and the classification process, traditional classification process that we are used in industries. But nowadays there are a lot of improvement has been made on the welding. Say for example, as I told, ultrasonic welding and diffusion bonding, and this is one of the promising area in which the industries are looking for. Because why this is very important? Because you can join without without filler rod and without the use of it's an eco-friendly welding process where you don't have to face any arc glare or any dust or any other types of flames. So here there is no flame, nothing was there. It's a purely eco-friendly welding process in which it is like a machining process where the tool will penetrate into the workpiece and then the joining will be taking place. So friction stir welding is nothing but a solid state welding process. What is solid state welding process? Which I already discussed. What is solid state welding process? In which it will not reach the melting temperature. Below the melting temperature, the joining takes place, which is called a solid state welding process that uses a non-consumable electrode. Here we don't have used the consumable electrode to join the workpieces, and without melting the workpiece you can join the material, and heat is generated by the friction between the rotating tool and the workpiece material, which leads to soften the region near the FSW tool. Suppose for example, these are the two workpieces in which this is the tool. So we are rotating the tool and penetrate into the workpiece, and then after penetrating the tool will move slowly and make the joint over the workpiece, which is called a friction stir welding. So this friction stir welding is we can weld a different combination of alloys. Even the temperature of the material is something different in both the alloys, in both the parent materials. So you can join the material. So likewise, industries are trying for different types of material to be joined. Say for example, you can join with aluminum and copper, you can join with steel with aluminum and copper with steel, and different composite alloys are nowadays used for joining the material. Even people are trying with the joining of polymers also. Polymer is very difficult to join, and because there is no proper technique for joining the polymers is not available. So this type of friction stir welding and diffusion bonding techniques are very much useful for joining the polymers material. So we will see what is friction stir welding. It is capable of joining aluminum alloys, copper, titanium alloys. Titanium alloys is very hard material that can be joined even in this process of friction stir welding. And mild steel, stainless steel and magnesium alloys. Why stainless steel is very difficult? Because the stainless steel contains, it's a non-ferrous alloys. So we don't have any ferrous over the stainless steel. That's what rust is not formed on the stainless steel. And we have magnesium alloys also. Magnesium alloys is having an ignition property, so that can be avoided, and here in conventional method it's very difficult to make a joint, but magnesium can be easily joined by friction stir welding process, and it was successfully used in different ways of joining polymers also. In friction stir welding, different parts to be joined or clamped firmly, because when the tool is penetrated into the workpiece should not move away from the fixture. So it has to be clamped firmly, and a rotating hardened steel tool. So here these are the two metal pieces, parent materials. So these parent materials to be fixed, clamped properly on the fixture, and then a rotating tool member, say for example mild steel or even hardened steel tool is used, driven into the joint and transfers along the joint line between the parts, which I already explained with the two parts on this lecture. And the rotating tool produces friction with the parts. So the friction will be made over the tool shoulder here, and then which makes the material like this. Weld bead can be formed over the region like this, which is nothing but the tool inserted over the workpiece already, and generating enough heat and deformation to the weld parts together, which is occurred. So I discussed already, these are the 4 stages in which the friction stir welding clamping method will be classified. In step 1 we have a clamping methods. We have a clamping method, and this tool is inserted over the workpiece here, and then in step 2 we have the tool will be rotated, as well as it will be pull down force, that is called an axial force, will be applied over the material slightly in the rotating condition, and in step 3 we have full penetration of tool pin over the workpiece and with the help of rotating movements itself. And in the last step you have the full rotation of the tool as well as the transverse feed you have given on the table, so that the tool moves slowly over the workpiece material and which completes the weld material. The working principle of welding FSW is a cylindrical. Say for example, I am going to show this is the cylindrical surfaces of the tool which makes the weld. A shoulder tool with a profiled probe is rotated and slowly plunged into the joint line between the pieces butted together. So frictional heat is generated between the wear resistant welding tool and the material of the workpieces. So we have different types of parts. So this is called the shoulder region, and this part of the weld is called advancing side of the weld. So when the tool rotates towards the clockwise direction, and then we considered this section as advancing side and this side as retreating side of the weld, and we have a trailing edges of the rotating tool in which the tool will fully penetrated over the material surfaces. So this is called a tool probe, and leading edge of the rotating tool and this area in which the joint will be made, and sufficient downward force to maintain the pressure of the tool material is also called axial load of the weld, that can be measured. So the heating is produced without reaching the melting point, that is called the solid state welding process, and allows transversing of the tool along the weld line. And next is the pressure, the plasticized material is transferred, the front edge of the tool and back edge of the tool probe, and it is forged by the intimate contact of the tool shoulder and pin profile. So in this friction stir welding the friction, the shoulder diameter as well as the tool pin profile is very important. Suppose if you are taking a 5 mm thickness of plate, you need to have a 4.8 mm thickness of tool pin is required, and then it will be used for stirring the two metal pieces for joining, as well as the tool shoulder must be touched over the bottom surfaces of the workpiece, so that a penetration that can be seen or the image or the impression of the tool shoulder will be placed over the material and the joining will be taking place. In final section we will see the video of 2 videos of the friction stir welding process. So here comes under the main parts of the friction stir welding process. As we discussed, the tool is rotated in the clockwise direction and there will be welding taking place on the base metal. There are different zones in which you can observe it after the welding, and this is the material is not fused together and it is not a fusion welding, but you have different regions that could be observed. Say for example, this is the tool pin profile which is protruded over the material, and this is the backing bar which can be placed over here so that the parent material cannot be moved, and this is the portion called tool shoulder, and this is called the workpiece. And here you have a region which is called an unaffected material. So during the friction stir welding process you do not have any effect over this region which is called unaffected region. It is like a base metal, and we have a region called B, heat affected zone, and we have a region called thermomechanically affected zone which is called TMAS, and this region we can call it as weld nugget. So in our in the investigation of microstructure analysis and macro and micro analysis, this region would be taking into account for the result. How could be the weld, whether any cracks or any defects which is affected on the region, or any structure, fine grain structure, any changes in the grain structure that can be analyzed over this material. So these are the 4 regions in which the friction stir welding can be done, and main zones we have discussed earlier in the diagram. Nugget zone, which is also called as a stirring zone, because the tool stirs over the material over here, and thermomechanically affected zone and heat affected zone, and 3 zones were discussed in this region. So this is another type of diagram in which the welding zone or the welding microstructure analysis can be done, and this is the microstructure analysis of the welding. So here micrographs of different regions like A, B, C and of the stir nugget that can be viewed over here, and the factors affecting the different types of weld quality is a type of weld. So what type of material base alloys that you are using, and then angle of tool is also very important. Sometimes the tilt angle will be used and sometimes it will not be used, and transfer speed of the tool, that can be rotational speed we can consider, and spinning speed of the tool, that is rotational direction of the tool, and pressure applied by the pin tool, which is normally we can call it as axial load. As we discussed earlier, this diagram is representation of the friction stir welding tool, where this is the tungsten carbide shank, in which you have make this tapered portion, because this has to inserted in the machine spindle. For that purpose this flat surfaces has been made, and this is the locking collar and a shoulder with a pin profile. PCBN tool is used for this process, and this tool consists of a PCBN tool. And here, as we discussed the plan view of this friction stir welding, so what we discussed in this is called the transverse direction of the tool, and this is the tool in which it rotates like this, and the rotational direction of the tool will be shown in this graph, and this portion we can call it as advancing side of the workpiece and retreating side of the workpiece. And nowadays the aluminum alloy is used for major joining process of this welding, and friction stir welding of steel now made possible due to the development of tool made from polycrystalline cubic boron nitride, which I discussed as PCBN, and tool design constantly being improved to extend the tool life. So we have mild steel also, but sometimes the very hard workpieces, very hard base alloys required such type of tool pins like diamond tipped or PCBN will be used for making the joint. So next is the fixture position, which I discussed already. These are the different fixture position in which the tool rotated over the metal pieces or base alloys, and these are the different pieces. See, here you have a red dot condition of the joining process, but it is not a fusion process in which the material get fused together. It reaches below the melting temperature, and the joining will be taking place over the different regions of the material. And we have this alloy, this is the welded workpieces of aluminum alloy after the weld. And the tool parameters, we have different parameters of the tool in which the tool will be designed. Say for example, length of the tool and pin profile, what type of thread you are giving, whether it is cylindrically profiled or the circular type or the cylindrical type tapered with threaded pin profile, what type of profile is needed, square and hexagonal as well as the pentagonal tool or the square type of profile. We used to test it with a different tool profile, what will be the strength of the weld, and tool is strong enough, hard wearing at welding temperature, have good oxidation resistance and thermal conductivity. These are all the different features of tool material, and the hardness is selected based upon the type of base alloys that you are going to weld. What we are discussing over this graph is what are the different possible combination of alloys that can be joined in by this friction stir welding process. We have aluminum material joining that can be joined with zirconium alloys, and aluminum alloys that can be joined with steel and carbon and a different combination of steel alloys, and we have copper and we have a ceramic and even with aluminum alloys. So both similar and similar to similar as well as similar to dissimilar alloys can be joined over this friction stir welding process. That is the fullest advantage of this process. Likewise, there are different types of alloys distributed over here and here also. The combination of alloys that can be welded is marked in the dark region of this graph. So in this slide what we are discussing is joint geometries. So with different joint geometries that can be possible with the help of friction stir welding, as we discussed in the earlier traditional process, where you can make a T joint also, you can make a corner joint as well as you can make a V joint. Everything is possible in different combinations in the case of friction stir welding. But in our country we have a limitation over the joint, since we do not have that much advanced facilities like what other countries are having, and those countries are having very advanced and sophisticated robotic machine for joining the friction stir welding parts, like used in different rails and different shipbuilding structures and other applications. We have the material suitability as we discussed earlier through the chart. We can make a copper and its alloy, lead based alloy, titanium and its alloy, magnesium alloy, zinc, plastics that can be possible for joining in this process, and then mild steel, we have stainless steel, we have nickel alloys and different types of polymers, that is also possible. And here we have a common tool structure. What are the types of tool, different type of tool structure that can be used? What we discussed in the previous slides, it is a normal tool, but we have a different type of advanced tools also used in friction stir welding process. This is self reacting pin tool, and this is fixed pin tool, and this is adjustable pin tool, and this is retractable pin tool. So these are all the advanced types of tools which can be used in joining of the friction stir welding. And here this is the friction stir welding machine used by ESAB, the company called ESAB. They are using a super stir TM machine FW28, and here there is one more machine is also called ESAB machine, which is having very big structure and can be used for heavy sections also. And next we have a general example what normally people are using nowadays for research purpose. So this is one of the friction stir welding machine in the college purpose they used, and this is the normal welding tool, and this is the welded parts, and these are the different tool profile we discussed earlier, and this is the tensile strength material that is cut by this base alloys using the ASTM standard and can be used for checking the mechanical properties of the material. These are all the different design of fixtures which will be used for based on the specification of the thickness of material. This fixture design is used. We can weld up to 4 mm thickness or even 3 mm thickness to 10 mm thickness of base alloys, and it could be fixtured properly over the machine table. That is most important in friction stir welding, because the tool pin profile is protruded over the material, so it should not get disturbed over the joint. So these are all the specially designed fixture for joining the fixing the tool over the metal surfaces, and these are all the different tool pin profile that can be used for joining the welding. So we have polypropylene and magnesium alloy plates that is joined by the friction stir welding as shown in figure. So here the plastic material, both the nylon has been joined over this process, and here this is the aluminum alloy which is joined by friction stir welding process, and this waviness has come because due to a non proper selection of the process parameter. And here we have 2 magnesium plates that has been joined over this process. See here some of the burr that has been left out over the friction process, and here you have a very good joint that can be made over this process. This combination of trial and error method can make the good welding over the different plates. Selection of process parameter like speed and transfer speed and tool rotational speed and axial load are the important parameters for making the sound weld for this process. So these are all the other combination alloys like aluminum to copper, and this is magnesium. Again here the combination of aluminum alloy to the copper material that can be joined. So we have the current uses of friction stir welding machine: aerospace, railway, shipbuilding, and construction industries and others. And when we compare with moving to lightweight alloys, we have aluminum, magnesium, plastics, and even composite materials that can be used. And I discussed is an eco welding process, so in which this can be used, and it is main area of this is the shipbuilding. And say for example, the friction stir welding was used to fabricate the aluminum panels of superliner Mitsubishi Engineering and Shipbuilding, and this can be used in even SpaceX factory also. Ford company is used this particular welding process in their car, and this is the high strength low distortion body of Hitachi A-train British rail system, which uses the friction stir welding process. And here this is the 50 mm thick copper canister for nuclear waste attached to the cylinder by friction stir welding, and this is one of the interesting application in which friction stir process knives by Megastir. And Boeing is also used the friction stir welding. The advantage of this welding is it welds 3 times stronger and equal fatigue strength, better corrosion properties, and riveting 6 inch per minute, but in FSW we have 20 to 40 inch per minute, and the cost is also almost $50,000 you can save per plane when you manufacture through this friction stir welding process. Space Shuttle utilizes this friction stir welding process, and Boeing even made 15 million investment in friction stir welding process over the last 2 years. And we have friction stir welding of Boeing A380 that uses the frictions. They uses friction stir welding machine, which is very faster, stronger, better fatigue, less corrosion, and incompatible with the glare. So today we are using the riveting process, and tomorrow we have used the friction butt welding process in a larger way. So friction stir welding is used even in robotics also. KUKA Robot Group has adopted KR500 3MT heavy duty robot for friction stir welding. The Delta NFS tool is used, and system made by first public appearance in the Eurobliss show in November 2012. And even in personal computers, Apple applied friction stir welding on the 2012 iMac to effectively join the bottom to the back of the device. This process is used, and we will see 2 videos of friction stir welding, and then we will conclude this lecture. In this process, the material, the tool is penetrated over the tool surfaces, workpiece surfaces, and we have a stirring action by the tool, and at last the tool will be retrieved over the material, and this is the process or stages of friction stir welding. So I thank one and all for giving this wonderful opportunity for complete this presentation. Thank you so much.